Welcome back to XCOM 2 War of the Chosen Abridged. Last time we blew up an alien statue to announce the beginning of our campaign to free Earth from its alien overlords. We had to stop an alien attack on a key resistance device. We were successful, but both in this and the previous operation we did take casualties. Now we're trying to team up with two other anti-alien organizations, the Reapers and the Skirmishers, but we're having to fight our way through a city full of zombies to do it due to some bad planning, I suppose. We've done it for the Reapers, now we need to get the Skirmishers to the meeting point. First we need to meet up with Mox here. He's an alien-human crossbreed, one of the Advent, who are the aliens' representatives on Earth, but some of them have defected and actually want to fight the aliens, and that's essentially what the Skirmishers are. So we'll be teaming up with him to go and meet with the Reapers. On the way we face some Purifiers. These are Advent forces who are fighting the Lost in these various abandoned cities. Now they're in our way, but they don't pose very much of a threat. We can easily take down the two troops who appeared right at the start of the mission. One interesting thing about these Purifiers is that they don't have an attack that directly affects your party members. You can see they actually just attack the terrain. And the hope then is that the fire will affect you, because your soldiers can be set on fire and we can't run through the tiles that are on fire without being set on fire ourselves. So they really just cause a bother without being a direct threat, and since they're so close to us we can just move up, outflank them and take them out right away. So we've easily got through that first part of the mission. Now we just continue on towards the meeting point, which was just up the road. There was one problem though. The meeting point is absolutely covered in more of these flamethrower guys who are apparently having a rather casual looking battle with the local zombies, so that's going to interrupt our plans. Mox decides the best thing to do now is to kill them all by doing some sort of trick shot that causes them all to explode. I don't think he knows the secret to a map with the Lost on it though, and that is that any explosion causes the Lost to spawn because they are drawn towards the sound. So now that he's done that, the aliens are gone, but we are going to be swarmed with zombies, and in many ways that's actually more difficult to deal with because those aliens suck, as I said. Although the Lost also suck, they're pretty easy to deal with. All we need to do now is not die for a few turns before it gives us a new objective, and that's easy enough. We can just get to raised positions for increased accuracy and then gun the Lost down as they come towards us. There's OfficiallyDevin getting a nice shot on Overwatch, and there's a whole load of Lost swarming towards us. They can't attack after doing a dashing move. So what we're left with is the enemy just being at point blank range. So actually it's not so bad because you have a very high chance to hit them. So now that we're all surrounded, we'll just one by one gun them down. And as we saw last time, because you get your action point back whenever you kill a Lost, you can just do this until the clip on your weapon is empty. In this case we're going to be able to get most of them with Murderous Mike here, racking up some nice free XP and kills as well. We'll also want to keep moving to higher ground, since you do get a pretty substantial accuracy boost for being above the Lost, meaning that even if they aren't very close, you can still gun them down, just to make this horde defense even easier. As we move on, OfficiallyDevin is going to pull off some more Overwatch antics. He can't be stopped. What a reliable character he is. Mox here, not as good, just firing wildly and missing these guys in the open. A poor show. Still, we've got Murderous Mike on our side, and he's going to be able to clear the aliens up, even at a long distance. Now that we have that height advantage, you can see we're just gunning them down and using all of our free action points to kill more, and then reload and go on to Overwatch with the 2 action points you end the turn with. So no problem to hold off all of those waves of Lost, and now we can just make it to the new extraction point that appears after a while. OfficiallyDevin did get accosted on the way, but that's not really a problem either. So we'll be making it to the meeting with the Reapers. The problem here is that the Reapers actually hate the Skirmishers because the Reapers don't like aliens, and the Skirmishers are part alien at least, but they are persuaded to put aside their differences because we both want to kill the even aliener aliens. And actually there's going to be a chance to do that right now, because even before our meeting really starts, a member of the Chosen appears. This is the super elite type of alien. It's kind of like Aliens XCOM. They're special forces that are trying to stop us from bringing the aliens down, and specifically they want to capture the player character because the aliens actually want to use the player character as one of their own generals, because you're supposed to be such a good tactician, although you only sort of partially exist in the game world. You never actually see yourself or anything like that. So here's the Chosen we have to fight right now. They're pretty high quality combatants with a variety of special abilities, although I think in my crazy mod, because damage is higher, while they'll damage us better, the fact our party is so much bigger than just one Chosen means our overall damage output has increased by more, so hopefully that'll make fighting the Chosen probably easier. Well, it will if they're on their own at least. In this case it is just the one Chosen we're facing, because this is essentially the tutorial for fighting the Chosen. You can't see this particular one, the assassin, so you have to either try and guess where they are and damage them with a grenade to reveal them, or wait for them to come and kill one of your guys, in which case that also reveals them. Here, despite strongly suspecting where they were, I didn't actually throw the grenade because I didn't think I could hit exactly where they were standing, and we are punished for that. Yoshiaki gets attacked, but he doesn't die, he's just put into bleeding out, so we can still save him, and at least now we know where the assassin is, although as you can see there, the assassin is allowed to move after attacking, so they are not just standing next to Yoshiaki ready to die after that. So what we need to do now is stop Yoshiaki from bleeding out. I didn't actually need to make this move with Mike, because to stabilize a bleeding out party member, you normally need to be next to them, but the specialist class doesn't, because their robot is allowed to apply the various first aid procedures. So with that done, there is no longer any countdown to Yoshiaki dying. I think normally the Chosen can actually capture your unconscious party members and take them away, but in this particular encounter I'm not sure they're allowed to do that. In any case, we're just going to drop this grenade over the edge of the bridge with OffiD, because while he can't actually see the assassin, we know she's down there, so we can get some damage just like that. And now Constantinus is going to drop down this pipe to get actual line of sight. I wanted to use his grenade ability to try and clear some of the cover that the Chosen was using, although in this case both the pillar and the car can't be destroyed with grenades, so we didn't get them out of cover. I had hoped to then drop someone else down to have a direct shot without cover that would be likely to hit. But actually, because this is the semi-tutorial to Chosen stuff, you only have to take off some of their health and then they just go away. So that's actually the end of the Chosen encounter. However, they do something or other that causes this pod to vibrate, and that starts drawing Lost towards us, so now we're going to have to fight swarms of Lost again. XCOM offer to evacuate us, but not where we actually are right now. They want to do it on the next street over for whatever reason. So now we have to get there and fight our way through the Lost all the way. Whenever you kill a load of them, they just kind of respawn. I think that's part of the scripting on this mission. Normally killing Lost doesn't cause more Lost to spawn, although I think if Lost are present on a map, they'll just come after you after a while, even if you don't make any noise or do anything to draw their attention. Anyway, in this case, we're just going to have to clear a path. We'll kill all the Lost nearby and then make for the building to our north, or north from this screen orientation, and on the other side will be the extraction point. I've thrown Elena on top of this truck, and she's kind of like a sniper class, so she has high accuracy anyway, but now with the height advantage she can just gun down absolutely everything. And if you don't move during the turn, you can use your first action point to reload and get up to 6 kills per turn, so it's not really going to be a problem getting through the horde. We are going to need to take Yoshiaki with us though, since he's unconscious, so that's going to mean Murderous Mike here isn't going to be able to fight on the way. He's got knees of steel, he just jumps off the bridge, takes it, and now starts walking forwards. Very impressive, and really we made progress without too much fuss. We got into the building ahead of us and climbed up to the second floor to avoid the Lost who were hanging around on the ground floor. Some of them came up to try and stop us. Mox continues to embarrass himself with that shot, and that allows the Lost to actually get right up amongst us, but again they'd used their dash move to get there, so they can't attack us. Now we'll just counterattack and take them out, with Constantinus doing this very dangerous shot, just about not destroying Mike and Yoshiaki there. Really looked like those bullets were going right through them, but the game shall be the judge. And anyway, those two rushed forwards ahead of the party to get to the extraction point early. I was thinking I might just send them out on their own, but as they arrived, some more Lost were nearby and got attracted over. You can put the body you're carrying down and that will allow Mike to start shooting to start clearing this out. But of course the party will soon be nearby to help out as well. They were also being swamped by Lost in this apartment nearby, just overlooking the extraction point, but by keeping people on overwatch, it's not a huge issue if the Lost keep trying to get in. You can see there's already a pile of bodies on top of this balcony, and OfficiallyDevin is now going to add to his little pile of bodies here as another Lost tries to weirdly hop its way up the ladder. So no issues, we'll continue moving on. Once we get a bit closer, another band of Lost comes out of this building on the ground floor, and this time OfficiallyDevin finally lets us down with an embarrassing shot. It looked like he aimed at the Lost and then decided to shoot the wall after second thoughts, and he's actually going to be punished for that because one of the Lost now gives him a slap. He doesn't die, but that does mean he'll now be wounded, so he'll be out of the fight for a while after this. Meanwhile, Murderous Mike, having put Yoshiaki down, although you can barely tell, that weird shape on the floor next to Mike is Yoshiaki, he then blows away a few more Lost, and everyone makes it to the extraction point in one piece. So now we can get out of here, although according to this cutscene there was a bit of an incident on the way out, and WotC actually ended up getting captured by the Chosen, who decided to make a reappearance. Although, considering WotC's performance, that's not necessarily a bad thing because he was pretty much screwing everything up the whole time. At least everyone else made it out, and we had no mortalities, so that's very good news. And some more good news, if you're a fan of OfficiallyDevin, of course, is that he gets promoted to a sharpshooter, which is a class that generally doesn't have to put themselves in too much harm's way, so maybe he'll have increased survivability as a result of that particular class assignment. Next we get an interesting cutscene that explains why the aliens are interested in capturing the player character, the commander. It wasn't actually shown because I skipped the tutorial, but at the start of the game you're supposed to have been in captivity. The aliens held you in captivity for 20 years or something and were doing something to you. And here we learn what they were actually doing is making you play XCOM 1 in order to learn more about combat tactics or something. It's quite a strange setup, and it's not clear why the player character is at all like the only person who knows how to do this, but it doesn't really matter. Our next actual objective is to expand ourselves into New Mexico. We can start operating there by making contact with the local anti-alien resistance movement that already exists. That's going to take a while, so we'll just have to scan around and find out where they are before we can set that up. And once that's done, additional missions will be available in that area. We're also now able to start sending soldiers on covert operations. These are these passive missions that take place without you controlling them and provide you with various rewards in exchange for your soldiers being away on them, so you can't use them for actual missions essentially. A few very important things are done through covert ops, including finding where the Chosen live so that you can kill them, and this mission where you can find out where they took Praetor Mox. And while getting Praetor Mox back isn't especially important, we'll do the covert op anyway, just because it unlocks an extra mission, an extra chance to get some experience by rescuing him essentially. So I'm going to send Naruko and Kojiro from Naruko's treasure to go and sort that out, and now we just wait, and eventually they'll come back with information on where Mox is. While we wait, there is another cutscene, and this one essentially explains that the aliens are tired of the uppity humans resisting their rule, and now they're just going to kill everyone who's resisting them. Not quite sure why they didn't do that before, but it's happening now. And the interesting thing about this scene is that a band of resistance fighters who were actually watching the news report while being contacted by XCOM to be told that they're about to be killed by the aliens managed to be taken completely by surprise by this alien attack. They do seem to be surprisingly incompetent and were just seemingly unaware of this possibility, so the aliens just show up and shoot them all. However, because XCOM are quite nice, we're not going to let this go unavenged. We're going to send a team to try and extract a few civilians so we can say that not everyone died or something like that. So here we go, we're going to sneak over. The aliens didn't notice us coming in, I suppose, and now we'll try to extract a few civilians and get out of there with this new team. So this is a special type of mission where the civilians on the map will gradually be killed by the aliens, and you need to complete things before too many of them have died. And every turn the aliens can't see you, they'll go and kill a civilian instead. The aliens discover us during their turn, which is handy, so we can immediately take Overwatch shots at them as they scatter for cover. Arakamani missing that shot initially. Here we've got Sugatsura, not that it really looks like him, going for another shot and unfortunately getting another miss. So now there are still 3 aliens at large, but the fact they've seen us means they won't shoot civilians now, so that's handy by extending the soft time limit. Although, as you can see over here, other pods that haven't seen us will continue to attack civilians anyway, so we still need to move quickly if we can. The game's quite nice in that they'll only try and kill 1 civilian per turn, even though they could easily wipe them all out immediately if all of the aliens actually tried to attack. Anyway, Sugatsura moves up to outflank one of the Advent troopers and gets the shot there. That's pretty nice. I've got our Reaper, Elena, here in the centre, who is going to continue moving on up. Since she can't be seen by the aliens unless she's really close to them, she's particularly effective in this mission since she can go around rescuing civilians. You just have to get close enough to them, and hopefully it won't take any reprisals from nearby aliens who just won't realise it's going on. Arakamani destroys a sectoid there using his shotgun's extra damage to just kill it in 1 hit, very nice. And at the back here we've got Spooky Samuel, who can use his squad sight ability to see an Advent soldier that, while not actually visible to him, was visible to someone. So it's as if someone in our party pointed out there was someone there and Samuel just cut them down. In the next turn we could do this again. There was someone in the distance who hadn't even spotted our party, an Advent priest, and he gets a nice critical hit, annihilating that guy in 1 shot, so that was very good indeed. Arakamani moves up a bit and discovers that pod that earlier we saw killing civilians, so that will stop them from attacking the civs. That's something. Now they're going to contend with us. Immediately they come into range of Spooky Samuel, who can use Arakamani's vision to fire at these guys. The chance to hit isn't all that good because this squad sight mechanic does give you a debuff to accuracy, but there's not much point in doing anything else, so I thought I may as well try and fire at them. And because Spooky Samuel is a true hero, we get a critical hit on the sectoid, so again another powerful enemy just taken out of the fight instantly by the spooky scaly boy back there. Very good show. Elena discovered 2 more Advent troopers who weren't aware of our position quite yet and were just standing in the open. So we're going to sneakily throw a claymore at them because that doesn't reveal Elena's position. They can't see it happening, and that will come in useful later on. Right now you can see one of the civilians has shapeshifted into this blob monster. Indeed, some of the civilians were alien spies, although I'm not sure if these blob monsters look like they're really the spy type. They were disguising themselves as humans to get intel or something. Now Sugatsura misses an important Overwatch shot on one of the Advent troopers, and that trooper then fires back at him, and regrettably that's going to be another casualty. At least Sugatsura got a kill. He would have been completely useless if he hadn't done that. Still, it's always annoying to take casualties even among low-ranked troops. So there we saw Elena just shot the claymore and killed 2 more Advent, and that still doesn't reveal her. It's incredibly cheeky. Arakamani can now throw a grenade forwards to take revenge for Sugatsura since that enemy got pretty close. No problems there. And now we'll get into the point when we've almost won the battle. There's just 1 troop and this faceless monster left. Masako here shoots the faceless monster, but it doesn't die because it has a fair bit of health. It also has regenerating health, so it gets some of its health back at the start of each turn. And there's the 1 extra Advent troop we need to take down. He tries to shoot a civilian that was inside that trailer apparently and misses, so that's all good. Now he's pretty close to Arakamani, so he'll be an easy target. The Faceless, though, runs towards Masako, and I thought it was going to attack her. Then it suddenly turned round, and turns out, well, it is going to attack her, just in a strange way. It seems its attack has area of effect that hits behind it, so Masako does get hit and is wounded. Annoying, but nothing we can do about that now. Arakamani is going to move up to sit right next to this Advent trooper, which will also give him a flanking shot, meaning that this guy is history. That's the end of that. And indeed now it is just the Faceless that we need to take down. Spooky Samuel can see him and he's just reloaded, ready to continue his reign of terror. He could kill the Faceless here, but in this case the shot doesn't kill. The amount of damage you do is slightly randomized, so it's going to be down to Masako to finish off this thing, getting some revenge for the wound it inflicted against her. And that's the end of that. Because all the aliens on the map are dead, the other civilians that we didn't get to are automatically saved, so ultimately we did save most of them. Pretty good stuff. It's just a shame that Sugutsura had to go. If he'd hit that Overwatch shot, I think he would still be alive. Promotions for everyone else, so that's all good news, although Masako's nasty wound will keep her out of action for a long time. We're going to make this absolutely awful propaganda poster that may or may not inspire people to join the resistance, and that's going to be the end of that. And it is indeed the end of this part, so I hope you'll join me for more XCOM action next time, where we'll be kicking things off with the attempt to go and rescue the useless Praetor Mox.